You're tuned into the New Old Heads podcast, premiered every Thursday at noon at bringingdowntheband.com and brought to you by No Bad Ideas, Coleman Dental, Printfinity, and Indie CD and Vinyl. Support the New Old Heads by visiting our Patreon at patreon.com/newoldheads.
Episode 124 of the New Old Heads podcast. I am Major 7th. I make beats. I haven't worked on my intro. Spoolz is disappointed. Lone, how are you, sir?
I'm well, Mike. How are you?
Good to see you, as always.
Yeah, you too, you know?
Nice mug.
Mike, Space King. You're the Spade King, right?
Yes, this is
that
a
is?
Printfinity Family Reunion Edition exclusive.
Spade King.
So Printfinity took care of me on this one.
I like the pockets.
Yeah, I picked out a shirt with pockets. Printfinity laced me over the pockets, so you know, craftsmanship. They
Indeed.
attention to detail.
I hope so.
In the corner, Fresh to Death, Adidas sweatshirt. I'm starting to think they might need to send us a bag or something because, you know, he fresh to death with the product. DJ Jay Diff.
Salutation.
What's good, brother?
I'm here. How are you?
I'm good, man.
That's
Can't complain.
awesome. Thanks for wearing the Spade shirt. Even though y'all really the champion?
Of course. Shout out to my cousin Lisa.
Yeah.
Took care of business.
That's what's up. I seen y'all matching.
Yeah. She had a pair of Reeboks. Killed it.
Yeah.
You know, I just had some regular Nikes, but she had a pair of low top Reebok Classics. Killed it.
That's what's up.
So yeah, shout out
Can
to
never
Lisa.
go wrong.
At all. To my left, the incomparable DJ Spoolz.
Hello, Michael.
How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Welcome back. Good to see you.
Good to be here. Thanks, man. Good
Yes,
to
sir.
see you as well. I'm not disappointed in your intro, by the way.
Yeah, I feel like I'm letting you down, though.
No, not at all, man. Just, you know, if you're just taking time to think of something good, I'm all for that.
Okay. That makes me feel better because that's what I'm doing.
Your shirt made me think of our last Spades experience, which
Wow.
was frustrating.
Yeah.
Tad bit. Shout out to the homie Skits.
Pretty humorous.
Shout out to the homie Jay Moore.
Shout to the homie Jay Moore.
He's in the building as well.
Indeed.
St. Louis.
I could have been a lot nicer that day.
Yeah, there were a little
To
some
pretty
struggling.
much everyone, actually, not
Yeah,
just Jay
you
Moore.
know.
So, yeah.
But Spades is competitive, so let's not get it twisted. Spades is competitive.
I didn't let it drag though. Like it ended pretty quick after. You know what I mean? Like the anger.
It became educational though. We taught, we learned, and everybody got better by the end. I would say. So
I agree.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it
man.
ended positive.
Accountability.
Hey,
It's important.
It
as
is.
always, shout out to the homie Red August. I ain't gonna disrespect him and call him Camera Mike anymore because he just had a birthday. He's a grown man, so I'm not gonna disrespect him.
I wanted to talk to you on your man in your face.
But you just got him. Camera Mike.
I ain't gonna call him that no more, man.
I want to recant me even ever saying Camera Mike. I
Yeah.
apologize for that. I didn't think that
He does a lot of good things for us, bro. So
Major 7th would run with that
I mean,
every
you know,
week.
I like
I
Mike.
just
It's
wanted to
not a
differentiate
terrible
the two mics
mixture.
because
Sure.
I wanted to let him know I was talking to, I didn't want to say his last name.
I understand.
But
He's
okay.
important. He's valuable.
It's not like we're calling him Butthole Mike or something. I mean, he likes cameras. He's a photographer. Like,
Yeah, gets paid to pay that man. By the way,
Indeed.
cut that check.
Does good work.
He does indeed. So, episode 124. Shout out to No Bad Ideas as well. Shout out to the sponsors. The partners. Coleman Dental 317-255-8546. Bringingdowntheband.com as always. Printfinity and Indie CD and Vinyl. All of our partners. We appreciate you all.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Shout out to the patrons as well. The community as well. They've been posting and interacting with us as well. So we appreciate everyone that's there always. Shout out to Lone and his pocket knife.
It's a knife.
It's a knife.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to clean some bluegill or what he's going to do with that, but we'll
Did
see.
you guys see that?
That ain't sharp enough.
I posted Gmo everyday thing to roll in the community today.
I saw
It's
that.
an everyday
Yeah.
thing.
Do you remember that?
Just take a ride with Gmo.
That's the one.
All right.
Wow.
That's crazy. I even remember that shit.
Yeah, that's classic. Throwback.
Yeah.
What year? Anybody got the year?
I don't
94,
remember.
94.
Probably something like
possibly.
that. He's from,
93, maybe.
Okay.
also, he's from West Covina. I don't know too many other rappers that I'm aware of from West Covina.
He has to be the only one.
Gmo.
Yeah. West
California.
Yeah, I'm sure nobody else raps in Covina.
Or in West Covina,
Or West
for that matter. Either.
Indeed.
That'd be a
No, I'm
great
just trying
place
to
to
think
live.
of like, I can't think of any other rappers that I recall. from
No.
West Covina.
Yeah, I know.
I don't even know where West
anything
Covina
about-
is. Sounds like
Yeah.
California.
It is in California. I just don't know. I wonder how close it is to LA. Anyways, but yeah, dope song. Throwback.
Vintage. Vintage. All right.
All right.
Let's jump
Hey,
into some of these topics.
thanks, Ray Ray.
So, last week we talked about the Finding Neverland documentary. Lone actually, it was funny. You actually mentioned that you thought after watching it, some of it may have been believable. This is kind of two-part because we also talked about prior to coming on, like the concept of icon worship. When you talk about like R.
yeah.
Kelly, you talk about
Yeah,
Michael Jackson. But I want to throw it to you in terms of the actual doc. I did not watch it. You said
We're
some
gonna
of
do this first.
yeah. I want
Okay.
to see what you think because I'm
Get
just
out the
curious
way.
because just to see what you think before we go into the icon worship. You said you thought it was believable. If I'm quoting you correctly,
Yeah.
did you not? Or
Yeah,
No, they're ignorant.
see,
That's ignorant.
see,
yeah, I thought. I mean, after watching it, I mean, it's a long documentary. I think the first one's 2 hours. I don't know if the second one's 2 hours or an hour and a half, hour or something. Yeah, it's interesting because Michael Jackson is no longer with us.
Right.
So the angle of like it seems like a money grab that everybody says, I think potentially could possibly be true. Especially depending on the link that Terry shared with me when it documents like the
How
what
it
what he
switches
what,
up.
what was it, the Wade guy probably,
Yeah.
what he was trying to do to kind of be a part of the estate and or something. It was like choreograph some shit or something.
Yeah, he
I
was
forget
trying
what
to
it was.
choreograph the Cirque du Soleil
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
after Mike passed.
dope article
But-
by the way. That was
but-
dope.
Taking that like separately and like actually watching the doc and how they put it together, they did a really good job of following each person's storyline from inception and then showcasing the similarities and also like showcasing a lot of like, I don't know, just weirdness, like I mean, we all know Michael was an interesting character. Obviously,
For
he was
sure.
in the spotlight since he was a child. He obviously had Neverland. His best friends were children. That was the kind of the weird thing.
Definitely lived his life. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. We ain't here for
I'm
that
sorry.
today. We're not here for that today. He
Hey,
definitely
I
lived.
apologize.
He definitely
Sorry.
lived his life
It
backwards.
just sounded funny coming out. His best friends were children.
Come on, man.
But they were.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
documentary like showcases that one of the kids, he would like call him every day, for like 2 years, call and they would talk on the phone
So
for like
hope the Jacksons ain't watching this episode.
7 or 8 hours.
Terry go get our ass kicked. Go ahead, man.
No, but it was very kind of weird to watch, and so to watch their storyline and for what they documented, like they defended
I'm
him.
sorry, y'all.
Fam. So when Tito run up on us,
No,
what's up?
they're
See?
ignorant. That's
See?
ignorant.
when Tito run up on us,
Hey,
man.
I'm not.
I'm just saying.
I'm not sweating Tito
Okay.
at all. He moved out of Gary. He ain't tough no more.
What?
Well,
Yeah, he was gone.
Whatever, man. Go ahead.
that's
He
what
ain't
my
Gary.
eyes.
Gary.
He is Gary.
He is, but he ain't.
Come on, man. They went to high school there. They was there long enough to go to high school.
All right.
You done?
Yep.
Is you finished or is you done?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, so I watched it and I watched it with a lot of skepticism off top. Like, it wasn't like I was trying, I was like, all right, let's see what they're talking about. I almost didn't watch it for the same reason we talked about last week. And so I watched the first one and it just did a really good job of documenting each kid as they grew up and the relationships between the two. And the part that a lot of people have problems with is the fact that these are the same kids that defended him, right? And
Yeah.
then they came back. That's really the argument.
I'm one of those people. I'm
So-
one of those
Is
people.
that on top? We kind of touched on that last episode. They're known liars,
Right.
and not even just in the court case or whatever. There's other events surrounding them that they lie about, and accentuate and things like
I'm
that.
not familiar with those then, I guess.
Yeah.
But from just the documentary itself and following everything, it and their stories around, especially like the argument, if there's ever an argument about why didn't they come out earlier, I don't really vouch for any of that stuff, because I feel like people process their stuff at their own pace.
That's
and
fair.
so
Yeah, I can dig
and
that.
you know, and they actually touched on the reasons why. They talked about why they didn't come out, you know, and this kind of the psychology behind what they were feeling at the time. Yeah, it's just interesting. So after I watched it, I kind of finished it and I was just like, well, this kind of changes my perception of it. But at the same time, it's just a documentary about people's one-sided. You know, like there's not two sides to this. So we're not going to really know what the other side is. But a lot of what they were saying seemed extremely reasonable.
Excuse me. Speaking of having a side,
And he was best friends with children.
wow.
Let me
we
tell
ain't
you
gonna do that.
about my best
Come on, man.
friend.
Come on. Speaking of having sides, Spoolz wasn't with us when we discussed this, so I think it's only right that we throw it to him to see. Come on, man.
Man, he didn't have to say that again.
Spoolz. I'm gonna talk to you since I think you with me. Spoolz, what are your thoughts on just the overall concept of the doc and what we talked about up until this point that they clearly aren't taken serious? Go ahead.
Oh man, I actually don't have a ton. I don't have a ton to add, but I haven't watched the documentary yet. I'd love to. I don't have HBO, so I would like to, because I like documentaries and I like music.
Yep.
So I'll definitely check it out. However, obviously that's not what this is all about. It's oh man, I don't know. I think it's interesting. I'll say overall that that we as a society are really thinking through with a number of people recently, this whole and we've had the discussion a number of times, the artist versus their personal life thing.
Yep.
Yep. And this is the how many times has this come up about Michael Jackson in some way, shape, or form, either through some film that's come out or somebody's? I mean, three, 4 different times over.
Maybe more than that.
Maybe more than that, right?
Yeah, the interesting part about the doc is just really quick is that these two kids that were in the doc wasn't the first kid that came out.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's
Michael,
the group 𝗀, right? Isn't that who's in the documentary, or do they reference
the
that?
Wade Robinson
it's
guy.
Wade.
Okay,
it's
just
him,
one of them is okay.
and then there's another kid.
Gotcha.
But they're both from Australia.
It's based around those two though. Only two.
Yeah, it's
right?
based around those two. But there were originally the original charges against wasn't either of these two kids. It was somebody else.
Right.
Yeah. So it's just come something's always popped up, but I guess I always just kind of hope that it's not true, because I love Michael Jackson's music so much, and when you look at how he was raised, which is pretty well publicized and documented, does it give him the right to be a child? Absolutely, goddamn not. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's just all very sad, man. So,
I mean, I think he was open to all of that, especially to your point. He's best friends with kids, so
and
that's an easy target.
Now, to that point, is it if somebody were to ask me, do I think that he did all that? I don't know. I feel like that stuff, we too often try to have. I don't know.
We don't have to have an answer for that.
Yeah. I don't. I really, really hope not. But I don't know. I think, but to kind of sum it up, I think it's good that people, especially in our society, which is so entertainment heavy and focused, for people to be having these thoughts right now. I think it's good. I think it's healthy for people to kind of be able to come back to reality a little bit and realize some of these people are not only human beings, but do real foul shit sometimes and make them have to think about stuff a little bit. You know what I mean? So,
Terry, I want to come to you on, I guess, since we pretty much talked about the documentary, we know where we are on that, Oprah, et cetera.
I'd be curious what you guys thought if you watched it too.
Yeah, I'd be happy to give feedback and watch it. I feel like now that we've discussed it at length, I have to go watch it now just to kind of see where you're coming from. So I have to try to figure out a way to do that. But with Terry, I want to kind of hit on the point about the icon worship. We talked about, you know, we mentioned R. Kelly last week, and then we talked about Mike. Now, what is your overall feel about that? And the reason I say that is because I'm seeing stuff that to me is ridiculous, like R. Kelly coming out of the courthouse after someone paid his child support, and there was a lady screaming out like, "R. Kelly, please just touch my hand, please just touch my hand." I'm like, what type of bullshit, like what type of foolishness is going on out here? I don't understand it, but I thought Lone made a very good point for us to talk about that topic. So just jump in, man, on just the worship, like of the icons. Like, what's your feeling about that? I think some of the shit I see is ridiculous, in my opinion.
I mean, it is, and all of us that grew up, especially Michael Jackson, seen footage of people falling out just because he snapped his finger or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I can't really relate to icon worship because I've never been that type of individual. These are people that I did respect and admired.
Sure.
I will say that. But at the same time, if you're doing some things that aren't right or morally wrong, morally corrupt, then I mean, there's no reason for anybody to break their back to support you. As far as, you know, falling out and I'm still going to do this for this particular person.
Right.
But you don't even do the same thing for your brother that you're related to. You know what I'm saying? And that goes with support all over the board. Just like we shoot this show, there's many friends, family members that have probably never watched this show.
Talk that talk.
But they love Desus and Mero. They love The Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
They've never watched this not once.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they would go to war with you over their favorite shows.
There you go.
And they have talented individuals right next to them. That's what I particularly don't like is when people that you associate with kind of put everybody else on this pedestal, even with music. You know what I'm saying? People don't start liking music or certain things until someone else gives them the okay.
Yep.
You know, so it's just, I don't know, that's just how I feel about it. I can't really relate to the whole icon worship thing. I don't follow it very much.
Right.
But I mean, it is a weird mantra.
Yeah, some of the stuff I'm seeing, it's weird, but it's sad to me as well that there are people that are going above and beyond to try to find ways to justify certain things that we've seen or that we're looking at, that we see that are blatantly obvious, that are wrong. Like I can't wrap my mind around that concept because I just don't understand why you would want to go out of your way that bad for someone that there's no probably 9 times out of 10 doesn't even know that you exist.
Nah.
Like, why are you going that hard?
It's the same way with sports too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you can't log into Facebook ever without seeing Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe comparison, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Joe Montana, who's the GOAT, who's the greatest, this, that, and the other. People really be up in arms about that shit. I don't understand.
I know people that, that really, really have an axe to grind and like use the word hate and curse and all that type of stuff against sports figures. I'm like, fam, it's one thing to debate and, we all going to have opinions. It's subjective, like my opinion versus yours. But some of the stuff I see where I'm like, you insulting people that you've never met in your life, fam. Like, come on. It's not really that serious.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, oh, well.
I think there's levels to icon worship, too.
Okay.
There's the ridiculous icon worship of wanting to hold R. Kelly's hand or buy him a hamburger or you know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Pay for his bail money. And then there's
introduce him to your daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk that talk.
Because that happened.
And then there's also the well, okay, you can sleep in the same bedroom with Michael Jackson. That's
I'm a grown man and love
real.
all women.
Those are different levels of icon worshiping in a way, I think. But then there's like the subtle ones too of not being able to think that icons can do things wrong.
Right.
And I think that's another level of it too. And I think that's one that kind of gets overlooked.
I agree.
I do. I want to add this to that too. I hate that we have to always add this kind of balance to the bullshit, but are these kids' parents like sick or something? Because for
you have to kind of watch it because it kind of talks about it. And they're little, like when they interviewed him, they're like, "Did you think that this was wrong?" And they're like, "At the time, no. I just, like
because their bills was getting paid."
Nah, well, they said what it was more so was they feel like they kind of grew up with him, like they had seen him. So you got to think the Wade kid, like he got noticed because he was a dancer, and he was dancing Michael Jackson's like steps and stuff, and so like he already like worshipped him, right? So she said, like I just felt like I knew him at that point in time, and so like
I grew up in a different type of household, so
I mean,
there would have been no way that
right
my mom or pops would be letting me spend endless amounts of time with Michael Jackson, regardless of how much I liked him, or his talent level.
Yeah.
They would have been like, get off that bullshit.
At the same time, I can't even relate at all to like watching videos of how people like worship Michael back then. Like seeing those videos, like I can't relate to that at all. Like seeing people cry and stuff just for him to be there. Like I can't relate to it. I'm kind of coming from your angle. Like I don't have. There's nobody icon in my life that's like that. Like if Bill Murray did some foul shit, I'd be like, God damn, that sucks. But outside of that, it'd be like, whatever. But they talked about it a little bit. They asked both parents that, and they both said the same thing. Like at the time, it was just, I kind of thought about it, but I was like, no, it's, And apparently his bedroom was like a massive bedroom as well, too. They had like an upstairs and sleeping quarters and stuff, and they played a lot of games. I don't know. I have no idea.
I think I'm with Terry.
But right. But if you put the whole thing into context with how they were explaining it, like they used to have him over, and they were like he would just stop by their house and sit on the couch and eat popcorn or watch movies and stuff. And he would call them every day. And it was just, they were best friends. So
that man, my parents would let me hang with somebody that was 5-6 years older than me, unless it was my older brother,
right?
And I'm tagging along with him.
Yeah.
Other than that, nah. What are you? No.
I
Why
don't
are
know.
you with them?
Maybe a grown man.
A grown man.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just a star power, Michael Jackson. I don't know. It was just, it's interesting. There again, both these kids were from Australia too, so maybe there's a cultural difference there somehow.
That's
don't know.
a good point. Maybe there,
but not everybody. Not everybody that was though. So
yeah, everybody wasn't from Australia.
True.
And he had other cases, which
Macaulay Culkin used to hang around.
Yeah,
the same
Macaulay
thing.
He's still vouching for him, right?
Corey
so.
Feldman, Webster.
Yeah.
Another Bad Creation used to be with him. But I mean, my thing is, he had other allegations against him from different individuals.
Yeah, I understand.
Which came out, he was not guilty. Those were money grabs. There was a case that he settled, I believe, just because he didn't want the whole draw out, whatever. I mean,
right.
if he did do some criminal activity to a child, regardless of if he settled it or not,
you're
he
going
would
to
still do
pursue.
prison time.
Well, you're going to still pursue it. You know what I mean? Like
right.
that. So that one was legitimate, I think, because I think he settled at like $10 million or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And, or I could be wrong. I don't know. But it was something like that. But, if that's your child, what does that sound? Oh, it's Mike. God damn it, Mike.
I'll take that one. Don't worry about it.
No, but like if that's your child, you're probably not going to take a settle. You're probably going to follow it through.
Nah, you're pimping out your kids at this point.
Yeah,
you're getting exactly what you wanted.
There it is.
You wanted the millions of dollars.
Yeah.
The charges aren't sticking. Mike decides, I don't want this all out in the open.
Yeah.
Here's some money. Leave me the fuck alone. They're like, okay, we're cool.
Yeah.
If somebody did something to your child, nah, we ain't done.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to kill you, Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not going.
I'm with it.
I'm gonna still watch the documentary and
I'm gonna
and
watch it
see
too.
their point of view, but still at the same time, it's just too convenient that all this time and they tried to sue the estate.
Yeah.
That didn't go through. Now they got this documentary. They just keep saying, "Well, we're not making any money off of it."
Right.
I mean, it's like you're trying to set up these chess pieces in order to collect at the end because both of those families were taking care of by Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Until they weren't.
and then Wade Robinson
weren't.
was well publicized from hanging out with Michael Jackson. His career, he owes it to Michael Jackson.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So things aren't going his way now.
I'm gonna definitely watch it, and be able to actually take a look at it and see if it changes if it doesn't change my opinion, give me another perspective. So we'll see. Maybe that's something we'll revisit down the road. This is no way to desensitize anybody that was child abused or
of course touched in any kind of way or something happened to them.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying this particular situation is just too much going on in there, especially for you not to have the other side of the story.
Good looking out saying that as well. Appreciate you saying that. Russell Westbrook, that is, OKC Thunder. Paul George is his running mate.
Yeah.
He's been in the news. Westbrook is actually out here snapping on people in the crowd, cursing people out.
Taking no shorts, no losses.
Nah, saying
he wants
F-
to talk to you, your man, in your face.
I wanted to talk to you and your man in your face.
Yo, Wes out here wilding out. He actually out here cursing people out. But check this out. So there's a guy that's
what
probably
did I miss?
I don't know.
They know. They know.
Thank you. I don't care neither. All right. So Westbrook is cursing this guy out that's probably about 3 rows up, and he's standing on the bench, probably mid second quarter. So he's putting it on his mama. He's saying on everything I love. Like he's really, really, really pissed off.
I put
Just
it
to
on
like,
the
and Mike's right, but I saw it too, like the clip, and he wasn't. He said the F word a couple of times.
Yep.
But he said he was going to fuck him up. He said, I'm going to fuck you up and your wife too. Watch on everything. On my mama, I'll do it. I swear. I'm going to, and then he looks over at somebody else and goes, I'm going to fuck him up.
Yeah.
That's what the guy said to
That's
Westbrook.
what Westbrook
That's
said.
what Westbrook said to him.
But you don't hear the guy or what he said or any of that. So go ahead, Mike.
So what the guy says is, get down on your knees like you're used to, is what he tells Westbrook.
Like Lily.
So Westbrook takes that, as a racial slur, and just goes into what Spoolz just talked about, like absolutely snap. Now,
hold on, he said that was a racial slur?
Yeah.
Get down on your knees like you're used to?
Yep, that's what he said. So, here's the thing.
That sounds to me like more of like a gay slur.
Yeah, or just...
Charlemagne said that on the
or
Breakfast Club.
sounds like I'm punking you.
Okay.
slur.
Like,
and I'm
get down and suck
I think
these
I'm pretty
dicks.
aware of racial slurs and like what context everything is. You know what I mean? But to me, that seems to me like if someone were to no, it's not the same. So anyway, it just sounds like more of a like a sexual like
cock meat
gay slur.
sandwich.
Like your mom sucks cocks in hell.
He's offering him a cock meat sandwich.
Yo, but the guy
He didn't want it.
the guy that actually said all this stuff was interviewed after the game, and this is what he says. He says, "All I said was, sit down, bro, and ice your knees."
Yeah,
Come
he
on
didn't
now.
say
Now that's
that.
not what he... All right.
You know
Would he
didn't say
get that mad for saying that? So people did research on fam, and he had a couple tweets. One on 10/16/18 that said Russell Westbrook needs to go back to where he came from. #MAGA.
There we go. There we go.
And
That is very racially charged.
Yep.
Yeah.
here's another tweet.
But don't worry, MAGA is not racial.
No, not at all.
Yeah. No ties there.
4/28/19. Westbrook is a piece of classless shit. Somebody needs to kick his ass. Same guy.
That's just a crazy sports fan thing to say.
Thank you. But
Yeah.
the first joint
is extremely racist. Yes.
So Spoolz, here's my question. And
Where's Westbrook from originally?
California.
So he's like,
He's
get out of
from LA.
Utah, go to LA. Is that what
And
he's
don't get
saying?
it twisted. Utah, he knows this. Utah has a history of this, like these actions, like for just people that come in and it's been going on for a while. So Spoolz, I'm coming to you. Just talk about it in general, man, because I've heard the idea thrown around of fans getting thrown out forever. I believe this guy did, right or wrong? Am I right?
If I read correctly, I believe he's been banned for life from any more Utah
I read
games.
that. Yeah, he has been.
So what's your take on this, man, overall?
It's
The whole
interesting,
thing.
man, to be honest. The I don't first and foremost, someone who likes to go to the occasional sporting event and has for a long time, like since I was a kid, and especially basketball. I think the fact that I don't care how much money you pay to sit close, I think it's absurd what some of these fans like yell at some of these players.
I agree.
And the whole I paid money to be able to do this, like that to me is absolute bullshit. And I'll give you an example. I went and watched the Bulls lose twice in like the matter of a week because they're horrible. I didn't yell anything at anybody, and I was semi close enough to where maybe I could have.
Shout out to Bill Winnington.
Yeah, that also goes back to
shout out to Bill Winnington
to people in the NFL saying that all you need to do is show up and do your job. Don't get into politics, whatever, blah blah blah.
Right.
You should show up as a fan, sit in the fucking seat and watch the game.
Yeah.
Shut the hell up.
Side note: I've heard a number of tales like of friends of mine who have been told by players, sit down and shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And they did.
That's warranted.
Yes, it is.
I mean, I don't know if that's really equivalent, but I understand the sentiment.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's the exact same thing.
I'm not saying that. I think I'm like, good for those players.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's absurd, some of these things. And like, we were talking about this, I think
Are you really
going
to challenge this basketball player?
Right.
You're not going to challenge him. In real life, you're not challenging him.
But back to your point, Mike, or to the actual story, thanks, you filled in some gaps for me. I didn't know what the guy had actually said. And but I did see Westbrook's reaction, and I saw the video of the guy, and he certainly tried to make it seem like it wasn't like that big of a deal,
right?
The lady I was with never stood up, her hands in her lap the whole time. First NBA game, and I stood up. I didn't say not one swear word, and I was like, all right, I don't believe this at all. Yeah, so to know what he said, to know that he didn't necessarily swear. But he said something like that. Again, back to the point where I hate when fans do that. Like, then add in the fact that racist shit that he tweeted. Like, fuck him. I'm glad he can't go to any more games.
100%.
There you go. That's how I feel.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
Lone, you got anything to say about this one?
I think Spoolz pretty much covered it. I mean, again, here we have another instance of MAGA not being racist.
Talk about it.
Or no, I mean, I like the fact that Westbrook speaks up on stuff like this. He is a little bit, what would you call him? A quick switch or
high strung, perhaps.
I don't know. They always have terms for players that like to speak about.
He's just characterized that way.
That's what I mean. Like they characterize him that way. But I mean, was he not supposed to like tell him to shut the fuck up? I like Russell Westbrook. I do too.
And he plays his ass off, man.
Yeah, for sure. Plays hard.
It doesn't surprise me at all, which, I mean, but it is a one-off. I mean, I can't as much as I want to. I mean, I can't label all MAGA people like that.
Not
just
at all.
From this one instance, but it doesn't surprise me that that's what that is, and that's where those feelings were rooted from.
But there are people that will say,
"Why do you feel like you have the nerve to say something to Russell Westbrook?"
Right.
Right.
Dude,
we could talk
for hours about that.
Yes, we could.
You live in Utah.
What about the kid?
Shouts to Utah, but you live in Utah.
It is a beautiful state. I was there.
Absolutely beautiful.
It's incredible.
I've never been.
But you live in Utah. That's like saying you live in Indiana.
But you remember?
Yes.
No, I don't know.
I wouldn't say so.
But you guys remember the kid from?
And I guess Russell lives in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
From the Rams. That almost walked up on old boy in the stands like, where you from, man? Remember he kept screaming, oh yeah, where you from? And he walked up on him like, you gotta be careful with this, man. Like someday a player, well, we know what happened with Ron. Shout out to Ron.
I'm in these stands.
Different story. That dude poured a beer on him.
Thank you, sir. And shout out to Steven Jackson.
There are people who aren't athletes in this room, and I think I might be one of them on a certain day, that if you fucking poured something on my head, that I might punch you or run after you.
As you should. As you should.
Yeah,
I'm not going.
Shout out to Russ, man, for holding his ground. He has been adamant about the players and the protection or lack thereof from the league, and he's never been a dude to bite his tongue. So shout out to Russ, man. He
has a point. I mean, when you're at the game, you literally have ushers that are facing the crowd.
Yeah. The guy that was an usher
that
there,
nothing happens.
He stood right there, didn't say anything.
Yeah, because they don't even watch the game.
Facts.
They stay watching the whole crowd,
yep.
seeing how they're moving, what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's warranted. I don't think as a player you should feel unsafe in the game or threatened in any way. You know what I'm saying?
And the NBA is the worst because
they're right there.
That's the most access you can get to me to a professional athlete. Like, you know, they have the
You just run on the court,
glass or whatever, the wall in hockey and football. The stands are pushed back. Like baseball, the stands are pushed back. Like you're there in the league, like in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
you gotta be careful, man.
Do you guys remember the similar incident with was it 𝐀𝐻
Smart?
Not 𝐀𝐻 Smart. He played for IU in like '87 or
Talking about Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart at Texas Tech, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't
that's where he
remember
went
this
to
one,
college.
I don't remember.
And he got into it with a fan as well.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Put his hands on him.
It almost got to that. Like
Okay.
he went towards him, and apparently that was like some racially motivated shit as well. And this fan had a history of just being ridiculous, but
So
he was rich and he was like a booster or something. Don't quote me on that part, but
Right.
he definitely was like a season ticket guy. So it's like, oh, Al, he's just really loud and he just really loves the Red Raiders, you know.
Right.
So it's just stupid, man.
I
like,
think-
don't yell, and that's kids. That was college basketball. Like, give me a break, dude.
Think about Antonio Davis on the Raptors when he's in the United Center, and someone was either yelling at or threatening. Well, not threatening, we'll say, but somebody was having an argument or something, talking crazy to his wife. Fam hopped over the scorer's table and went up, 12 or 14 rows, and tried to step the dude like, nah, we not having that. You know what I mean? Like, I remember that.
I
It
don't
was at the
remember
United
that,
Center.
but that's
I
really
don't
cool.
either.
Yeah, so he hopped
big-ass
over the
dude,
scorer's
man.
table. Yeah, that's a big boy. He hopped over the scorer's table in Chicago and went up 12 or 13 rows trying to get to his wife like, nah, I'm not going. So
It's awesome.
you gotta be careful, man. You gotta be
Also,
careful.
do you remember the Vernon Maxwell incident?
I
Vernon
remember
Maxwell
that
had like
one.
a daughter that died
Yeah,
or something, and he had written her name or initials on his shoes, and some fan yelled about his daughter,
Yep.
and he went up into the crowd after the guy.
Yep.
Yeah. He ended up getting. You don't remember that?
I remember
It was
that.
back in the
Faintly.
like early to mid '90s.
That's crazy.
Around the time they were playing, they made it to the finals, I believe. Around that time.
They did it back to back.
Yep.
Yeah,
But
right
yeah.
when nobody was watching NBA for
Don't
2
do that.
years.
Yeah.
Actually, that finals
Certain
was
guy was playing some baseball at that time. But
Yeah.
those finals actually were interrupted by OJ. I remember because me and my pops were watching, and
the
they
first
cut,
one of them was
Well, the first
again,
finals, yeah.
They beat the. Was it the Knicks
Knicks.
twice?
Yep, they beat the Knicks first.
Yeah.
And
And
then
then
they,
the Magic.
I'm sorry, I think I got it backwards. Magic first, Knicks second.
Yeah. So
One or the other.
But one of those was interrupted by OJ. I never forget that. I was watching with my pops. So
Here's another interesting thing, really quick. And it's a sidebar, but we were talking about it. I don't like the idea that you can't criticize refs and you can't criticize the league in press conferences.
Yeah, that's
as a
why.
player.
I don't like that either.
that you can the concept that you can get fined for saying some crazy
it's
shit or
it's
something.
some bullshit. Like if you mess up and you screw up, like why can't I talk about it?
Yeah, and they get.
I mean,
taxed.
I get it.
They
I get it.
Taxed
I
too.
get it, but it's like
Yeah,
that's bogus to me.
I don't get it.
Protect these
I think
players.
that if they-
I get it from a standpoint of a league that wants to control a league and wants the league to make the league look like it's this imperial structure of
Yeah.
goodness.
yeah.
But no, I,
think
don't
that's
either.
I think that would have been. I think that'd be a Pandora's box
Probably,
because
potentially.
I think you would hear it after every single loss.
Yeah.
From certain people,
Fair enough.
you know,
But
for better or worse. If you don't mind hearing that, then that's not that big of a deal.
yeah,
you know?
why'd you lose?
It
Yeah,
also
fucking
would.
refs, God damn it.
It would severely, even further, in my opinion, undermine any authority that the refs have. You know, especially
I can dig it.
from a PR standpoint.
Well, I wish they would call traveling.
They don't do that
It's over
anymore
with. Yeah,
in the
it's over
NBA.
with.
Man, that shit like
Yeah, it's over with.
James Harden.
Probably the most frustrating. He probably has one of the most effective, frustrating games I've ever had to watch.
He takes 4 steps every time.
I can't watch it, man.
Steph tried to do the same thing and they blew the whistle on
I
his
can't
ass.
watch it. Like,
Blow the
fam,
whistle.
Are they going to beat the Warriors in the West this year? You think?
you know what, Spoolz?
You guys?
Ain't KD down right now?
He'll be all right.
Oh.
The only thing that can beat the Warriors is them. To your point, there's a small chance they could implode internally, and Houston could you know what I'm saying, could catch them. I don't think it's gonna
man.
happen,
It's like a supernova.
but I think it's a possibility. See, shout out to Sexually There's Nova. But I don't know, Spoolz. We'll see.
What do you think of the? And the last NBA question I have for you is, what do you think the chances of the Lakers making the playoffs are?
All right, so let's go ahead and look at this
null and
next
void.
topic here.
Oh, I wasn't trying to be a dick. I was just.
Nah, they're not gonna make it, fam.
You
It's
don't think
over.
so?
Nah, Bron is
I
trash.
don't care.
Bron's been
Ingram's
trash
out
on
for the
defense all
season.
year.
Lonzo Ball's out for the season.
And Bron's my
Is he?
guy.
What's wrong with him? Putting out an album?
What is a knee, ankle, something?
Twisted his ankle.
Yeah.
Ingram has a blood clot like around
Oh,
his
man,
shoulder
that's
area or
scary.
something. So,
Yeah.
but nah, man, Bron's leadership game has been trash this year. I gotta hold him accountable. So
I mean, they just recently tried to trade the entire team for
for
one.
AD,
So
Morale could be a little low right now in LA.
Yeah.
way to go, Magic.
Magic's like, Bron's like, my fault, man. I was gonna trade y'all, but like now we gotta try to make the playoffs.
We supposed to be brothers. Let's
All right.
He's
stick
gonna
together.
start posting weird things on his Instagram, like playing kind of sad hip hop songs and kind of like nodding his head forward with the face.
Hey,
Cute theme of the Hulk when he's walking away.
Hey, LeBron forever is
Like
that
a
dude
Drake
though,
song.
because LeBron forever that dude is that dude though, because I saw him on our IG story playing Brother Lynch. So I gotta give him peace for that.
He seems to know a thing. I know you guys talked last week about the whole 2 Chainz thing. I haven't listened to that album yet, but
Yeah.
I've heard it's good.
There are a couple
And I
songs that
like I like 2 Chainz, all right. You
I
know,
like 2 Chainz. but
Diddy's on Instagram like it's a certified Diddy classic.
Man, I
Yeah.
don't listen
I
I'm
to
just-
like,
Diddy.
oh my god.
and I understand LeBron knows a thing or two about hip hop too. Just in general.
Hey man,
So
we gotta get
interesting.
our leaders got to do better with just throwing around shit like classic. Like, first of all, the album hadn't been out that long for you to be like, oh man, it's a certified Diddy classic.
Well,
Second
Diddy
of all,
was
you
saying the
gassing.
Nas joint was classic too. He was just saying
See?
that because he was talking shit at the beginning of the
He was
album.
on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I still don't understand what Swiss Beats is talking about at the beginning of the joint on his album that Nas blacked out on. Like, what the hell was that? That was unnecessary. That frustrates me. I'm
No,
sorry.
man.
All right, so let's talk about a little bit of music. Shout out to Memphis, North Memphis, Bill Street, County
Orange
Seat,
Mound.
Orange Mound. Shout out to Philly, Meek. And then we see y'all. We don't want no
Project Pat.
smoke. Project Pat, I
shout
see
to
you.
the Peabody Hotel. Expensive. I was gonna book it the week in a certain time this year to visit with my lady, and it was real expensive because I guess there's a festival that week.
Taxing.
But I was pretty psyched because they've got the ducks that go through the lobby. You guys ever seen this? Like
I have
every
not.
morning, the ducks walk through the lobby, and and go into the pool.
That sounds
word.
dope. I've never
Yeah,
seen that
so-
before.
I wonder if they shit on the floor.
I'm gonna maybe
All
try
right,
another
so-
weekend, maybe. But anyway, shout to them too.
I'm a realist.
Looking forward
No,
to
you're
visiting
not.
your hotel.
Indeed.
It sounds really cool. It made me think of like Count of Monte Cristo, where like you walk in those foyers, and there's like big trees. as
Or
soon as you walk in.
foyers.
I like foyer.
Mm.
I stayed in a hotel that actually had a boat that came inside the hotel, turned around and went out into the ocean.
That's cool.
That's different tax
That's
bracket.
really
Hey, Red August, that's different tax bracket.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
You
You
gotta
too
wear,
can stay in that same hotel.
you gotta wear a Hong All Adidas sweatshirt to stay at hotels
Are
like
you guys
that.
familiar with the the Wildcat Sanctuary here in Indiana?
No.
Is that in southern Indiana?
Somewhere in like southwest India. I went once, but it's like literally out in the middle of
I'm
like, fields.
familiar with it, but yeah.
They have a room or some rooms you can stay in there. It's very local and very like I don't know, it's just very small, but they've got a couple of rooms you can stay in that are like glass, but the other side of it is like the cats.
I'm cool.
That's kind of cool. I like cats.
Not
Say,
cool.
Jay Diff, you cool?
Yeah, I'm
Hey,
cool.
I'm
on
cool.
that.
I think it's this place in Indiana, I believe. But anyway, that'd
All
be
right.
kind
Pass
of
on
wild.
that.
I'm cool as well on that concept. Shout out to the homie Ad2. Ad2 just finds a way to stay in the news for like dope shit. That's the homie, man. He's doing a lot of great things. Heaven Studios that he opened up. So there's a guy that came into his studio, Arthur Dubois. He's 72 years old. He's a trap, he's a trap music producer. Just happened to walk into the
He's
studio.
72?
72. Walks into the studio. It's like, yo, I got some beats. So Ad actually let him plug in, played beats, and the trap beats were dope. Like it's on his Instagram. Like the beats were cold. He's 72 years old.
No shit.
I heard one of them. It was okay. I
I'll
didn't
put
hear
it to you.
multiple. I didn't hear multiple ones. Though.
I'll put it to you this way: the beat that I heard for what's considered trap music today, I could have slid it right in and
Right.
it would have went.
That's what I mean. Like it
what I
wasn't
mean?
like the most amazing thing I ever heard, but it was pretty good.
It was good. So to this
Not
point,
to downplay the whole
oh no,
story.
he's
but, you know,
he's dope.
I'm
but,
gonna keep saying I'm a realist.
I feel you. I like that.
They sell organs.
I hope this guy doesn't.
Damn.
So
What you trying to say?
I'm not trying to say that, man. Don't do that. But to this point, since Ad has shared that, Rolling Stone, NPR,
Yeah, it's real
Source
dope.
Magazine, and MTV News have picked up his story.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
The
shout out to
new old heads have too.
and now the new old heads have. So shout out
boom,
to the
bada bing.
homie Ad
I'd
too.
say most importantly, the new old heads have picked up this story.
Yeah, obviously we're number one on that, but shout out to the homie Ad too, man. He continues to do great things.
Absolutely.
He's working on his album. Shout out to the homie Il Brown. I believe is mixing that project, and he got some stuff, man. Like he's definitely coming back. So shout out to the homie Ad too.
Do you know any more of the story as far as like what he's doing now? Like is he like working?
I don't know.
mean,
I don't know if he's working or if anyone has reached out to this point. It's more about, I guess, just the video going viral at this point.
Somebody probably about to buy a beat off of him just because.
Just off GP.
I
yeah.
bet he's already.
He's probably starting to get looks already. Like
I saw he has a Twitter account. I don't know if it's new or not.
if he does, I'm about to
So-
follow him because like fam came in there at 72 years old and playing decent music. Like to me, that story is incredible. How often do we hear that? I've never heard it. So
I
shout
understand him playing decent music, but him making trap beats is what's the interesting
at
part.
the age of 72 that are
Yeah.
actually solid. I
Yeah.
guess I'll say that's all of that together is just crazy to me. So shout out to him. Shout out to Ad too. And I'm definitely gonna keep my eye on that one because that story is dope. So the homie is always doing some dope stuff. This one as well. So I talked to Lone about this one. Yelawolf actually had a joint called Billy Goat that was like a freestyle type joint that he released as a one-off, where he was basically going at Post Malone and Machine Gun Kelly on their culture vulture shit, like calling them out for not being a part of the, the hip hop culture and flip flopping and going back and forth and saying that you're not really rapping, blah, 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 blah. So he's really going in on these guys about that. I told Lone, I said, I don't think I've ever heard of a situation where white rappers are openly holding other white rappers accountable
Oh no.
for being culture vultures publicly. Did I miss that? When did this one happen? I'm coming to you, sir.
Hi, my name's Sean. I'm Lonegevity.
I'm not counting.
I'm
you,
an
man.
MC and I'm a rapper.
I'm not
And
counting.
I hold
you.
white people accountable for white people stuff. But no,
In this song,
I'm not
Bloody,
counting you,
Y'all
man.
done.
Isn't it Bloody Sunday?
Is it Bloody Sunday? I might have looked at the
And he
term.
also goes at G-Eazy too.
yeah.
Thank you
which,
for the correction. I apologize.
Those are all relevant people to go at
yeah.
for that. My, I mean, Yelawolf has been in the news too, though. I mean, he's the Confederate flag rapper, right?
Aha.
Is he really?
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. I don't know this. I mean, he's definitely rocked it
He's been
multiple
associated
times.
with it. Yeah, he's right.
Oh, I did not know that.
So
right.
I'm curious. All right, cool. Like, I feel like it's cool that he addresses all that stuff. Now, will he address that?
He's not going to
Interesting.
address that. Yeah.
Interesting.
That'd be cool.
But perhaps Machine Gun Kelly will come back and speak on his Confederate flag association, perhaps.
Maybe. If
It
Machine Gun
didn't
Kelly.
work too good for him
Nah.
last time.
Can we have
He
a
might have
real
got some
life,
first week listens, but
True.
real life celebrity death match with all four of them? Just,
Like,
That'd be
and why
cool.
do they all have to be white rappers?
that's the funniest part about it all.
Thank
it's
you,
just like,
Spoolz. That's
I'm
what
only gonna go after white. Right? Like, what the fuck is that? Like,
I mean, I get it because, I get it because you're targeting. I mean, you can only really go at white rappers from that angle, though. Really,
didn't they just do a song to him and MGK? I thought MGK referenced a song him and Yelawolf were doing
on the
together on
Yeah.
one of his Eminem disses.
Thing. Really?
I think he's right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he's correct. Yeah.
I don't know, honestly.
I ain't heard Yellow
but-
Wolf since like
Now, I think
Shady Freestyle or some
I
shit.
think
like
Yellow
that.
Wolf's dope.
he is.
I think he's real
Absolutely.
dope. But
Didn't he get his whole like style from Ritz? A couple of people have said that to me.
I don't know if he got his. Well, I don't know. I know they came out around the same time. I like him more than Ritz a little bit.
He's from the
personally.
Midwest, no?
Who?
He's from Alabama.
Okay, I'm wrong. Okay.
Yeah,
He's from Alabama.
Yelawolf's from.
Yelawolf is from Alabama.
Shout out to the
Ritz
Confederate
is
flag.
Ritz might be from the Midwest. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Rich is from the Midwest.
I could be
He's from
wrong.
Atlanta.
Is he?
Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah.
Word. Okay.
And I could
Maybe
be
not
wrong.
Atlanta. He's somewhere in Georgia. But
Okay.
Side note, I'm not saying that happened. I just know that I've heard rumblings of that from people.
I heard the same
whole
thing.
Ritz
Spoolz.
Yelawolf thing, but I don't know. I think they're both all right to me. I don't buy either's albums.
I know Rich has some Indiana ties. He messes with a lot of people here.
Yeah.
Or at least a few people here.
That's what's up.
But I think it is funny. Just
To me, that's you just don't see that. Like that's different. You
I
know what
think
I'm
the
saying?
culture vulture thing's interesting.
Oh, there it is
wow.
right there.
Interesting.
Hold that up, man. That's
Oh, it says
pretty
who
good.
wore it worse, Chris Brown's head tattoo or Yelawolf's Confederate flag jacket?
That's real.
How about that?
Wow.
So I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I don't know if he's addressed it or not. I haven't actually seen Yelawolf. I haven't heard him. Like, this is the first I've
I
heard
hadn't
from
heard
him
from
in a
him in a
minute.
while.
I always thought he was talented though. I always liked his music. So
I mean, but Post Malone's like culture vulture shit
Yeah,
was
we-
on
we've
full
definitely
display. We already
addressed
talked
that.
about that with the Grammys.
yeah, and as
So-
in comparison to culture vultureism
Hey, I see.
with Yelawolf and those other three guys, Yelawolf is not in that category to
Okay,
me.
I feel you. That's fair.
But I would like. I am curious about his Confederate flag jacket.
I am as well.
So.
Full flag. From when I saw that picture.
I think he would explain
It could be a
really hard why it's okay that he has it because he's from Alabama.
Facts. Thank you, Spoolz. He's gonna say
There
it's
was
his
a
heritage.
moment in time where a lot of hip hop artists were wearing that Confederate flag.
Kanye
they-
had a jacket
uh,
with it on.
Yeah.
Before Kanye,
Were they
Lil
white?
Jon and the East Side
it. Oh, I
Boys
see.
had the Confederate flag on one of their albums.
Huh?
They had the Confederate flag on one of their albums.
Were they Caucasian?
No, man.
No, I'm just saying there was like a weird. I never G'd for that shit. Like even I think Andre 3000 had a Confederate flag belt buckle at one point in
Damn.
time. I mean they're from the South,
True.
but I don't know.
I think it is funny the whole the culture vulture thing, and I agree with you, Sean. I don't see Yelawolf in that vein, but I think it is. I think it's interesting that he, in the course of just calling out these three white rappers,
Yeah.
is mentioning the culture vulture part. It's very
Has MC Search ever called anybody out on that tip?
Search is like
not that I don't know. Not that I'm.
I'm
I
the
was just
Godfather.
wondering because I know
Yeah.
he called people out a lot back in the day.
Yeah.
I'd love to talk to MC Search. He's got crazy. To this day, his Bushwick Bill story was like one of the craziest things I ever heard. Like, fam's got stories for days when you think about it. So
You know, Bushwick Bill was here at one point in time. There's stories of Bushwick Bill
Yeah.
at the Casbah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I wish Jay Moore. Shout to Jay Moore.
I was there that same night.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've seen him at the Casbah before as well.
I'd
He's
love to talk to
actually, he's
Bushwick
actually
Bill
a
as
family
well.
friend to my brother's in-laws.
Word.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'd be an
Shout to
interesting
Bushwick Bill,
conversation
man.
as well.
Word
yeah.
up. I would love to get his signature on a couple of
Yeah.
Ghetto Boys.
Dude
records.
seems like he's really, really cool. It's intelligent brother too. He's very smart.
Were you trying to say that he wouldn't be smart?
That's exactly what I'm saying, Lone,
I
because
figured.
he's I didn't think he was smart
Rappers aren't smart.
at all.
No.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you.
I try to keep us accountable. And what's today? The realist? Trying to be a realist.
Clearly, this is a realist episode.
Yeah.
The
Realist.
I'm a grown man that loves all women. I just wanted to address that.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I think we're getting close to time. We got a little time left.
Yeah, we got some time.
Does anybody have? Did I miss anything? Anybody want to throw anything out there while we get ready before we get ready to wrap up? Anything you want to get off your chest?
We got 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh. We're on.
I like that.
I know that I believe Treese pre-sale tickets are on sale.
Hey.
They are.
Is that correct, Sean?
Yes.
So those are on sale. It's the fifth year,
Man, I can stake it.
fourth year.
Yeah,
fifth year?
I don't. Honestly, I should know, but I don't remember.
Yeah,
That's
it's the
sad.
fourth or
I
fifth
know.
year. So go check out those. I'm sure they probably have Treese.com, right?
I think it's TreeseAF.com. Let me look it up real quick.
Or just go to Facebook and type in Treese, and
That'll
that's
get it.
CHREECE. So
That'll
yeah.
get it.
And that's what their social media is too. TreeseAF.
yeah.
As
Um,
fuck.
And I believe pre-sale tickets are
$20.
Yes.
Treese is only getting better. Like every year, it's
that
getting
is
better.
a heck of a deal if you ask
Yeah,
me.
it is.
Oh, it's just treese.com. So yeah.
For literally, if you're older than 21,
And even if you're
or
younger,
even if you're not,
Yeah,
For some
it's like
venues.
still
12
getting to some
hours
events.
of hip hop.
Yeah,
Whenever we're usually in the square at Fountain Square, I mean, when
it's
we're out
party
about,
central.
man, kids running around everywhere. Like it's usually a good vibe.
People generally love that area.
I agree, 100%. We usually have it lit. Shout out to, I forgot to mention last week, but shout out to Chicago and the Griselda family, man. They had a show in Chicago that was crazy. Benny Butcher was there, Conway, West Side Gun. Me and my man Il Brown got a chance to go up there and play some slaps. It's good to see those dudes fill a void in hip hop that is needed, in my opinion. Got a chance to chop it up with those brothers. They cool brothers, man. Lyrically sharp. Performance game is on point. So it was a really, really good experience to get a chance to soak that up. Like Chicago showed out, showed love. Place was filled up to capacity all the way to the back. So shout out to those brothers, man. It was a really, really good time. Got a chance to see them rock. They're pretty dope. They're pretty dope live. So salute to the Griselda family. Those guys are making moves. Did I forget anything else? Anybody got anything popping this week? Something I forgot or missed?
when you say something like, this is English question for you guys. When you say something like it's really dope, what is really? Is really an adjective? What is that?
Good question.
In that
This is
sense,
really
it's
dope.
used as one, I think.
That's right. It's part of. Is it? I don't know. You like to double up on those a lot.
It was really dope.
Just
Really dope.
it was really
Wow.
pretty.
It was dope.
Is that a true level gauge for you, Mike?
Like
the number
really,
of
really-
reallys?
That,
Yeah,
that,
but I
that
say
was my
like-
question. You
I
know?
said like 12 reallys. It was really,
He been
really,
listening
really,
to
really,
a lot of
yeah.
what's dude's name?
They sell organs.
What's his name?
Hey,
The
get
one
your
that
boy
kicked
Red
the
August.
chick off the stage.
Oh,
Kevin Gates.
Kevin Gates.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've been listening to a lot of Kevin Gates.
Shout out to Kevin Gates.
Really.
You got anything else going on this week? Anybody?
I think.
Lo-Fi
let's see.
Saturday nights is actually Lo-Fi Fridays this week.
Ah,
Is
shout
it
out to David
really?
Peck.
Yeah, we're gonna be there from 7 to 10 on Friday.
That's what's up.
My Mud Kids are
Yes.
opening for the Alcoholic Sunday at the Hi-Fi.
Hiffy.
They're gonna have some shirts on deck made by Prinfinity.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Nice. I am psyched that the tournament's going to start here.
I am as
in,
well.
what, like 10 days?
You gonna order some pizzas and stuff and have a shindig at the crib?
Yeah, probably.
I
Shindig.
kind
actually
of
came
pizzas
through.
you
I
gonna
came
get?
through last year to watch.
I don't know.
some games
I was
at
there.
Spoolz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know yet, man.
We drank some really good was it bourbon?
Probably bourbon or scotch. I
Yeah,
don't
it
know.
was
Yeah.
it was pretty nice.
See if Zion's gonna come back rocking Adidas. That'd be interesting.
Is he coming back?
We'll see.
Oh,
For
I
the
think if they
tournament,
go
yeah.
to the tournament, he definitely has to go. Well, they are.
Oh, they're going
to
to the tournament,
So,
yeah.
so he has to. There's no way he could end his college career without that experience.
Still
That's the
gonna
whole
be no-
reason to go, right?
Still gonna be a number one pick
If,
though.
if not for anything else, I would think,
Yeah.
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 I hope he comes
I
back.
mean, he has to go right
To the NBA?
to the NCAA.
He don't have to.
No, not anymore.
Yeah, he can post up. He's gonna be a number one pick regardless.
So he could
I
just
think.
chill.
He could
And not
drop
do it.
out of school right now if he
Sure
wanted
could.
to. He would just have to wait to the...
But what about start of the year though? He had to go to college to go to the NBA, right? Nope. So he what?
Could have gone overseas.
Could have gone overseas.
But he had
coulda-
to
coulda
play.
just sat.
He had to play somewhere though, right?
Not necessarily.
Just has to be 1 year removed from school.
1 year removed.
So that's the rule.
They'll probably change.
And they're
that.
looking at changing that again, yeah.
So
Which
we'll see.
we'll talk about on another podcast, but I think it's a good discussion.
What
It's
about
very
I
IU?
can definitely see both
Very good
sides
discussion.
of it.
Is IU going to continue to win and possibly make the bubble to get into the tournament?
No,
I don't.
I don't
think
think
so
so,
either.
bud.
Purdue.
They lost like 12 out of 14 games at one point this season.
Who's leading the
But
Big
they've
Ten
been
right
beating.
now?
They've been beating kind of top tier
They beat
teams.
like 2 top-tier teams.
But who's
Just
leading
only
the Big
two?
Ten? Red August.
I think
Who's
so.
leading the
I
Big
could be
Ten
wrong.
right now? Michigan State. Okay.
Yeah, we don't care about them.
Is that yeah?
Purdue's
wh-
doing pretty good though.
That's
How
what I
many
was gonna say.
losses does IU have this year? Like
A whole lot.
13 or 14.
A lot.
Something like
Do they
that.
have more wins than losses though?
I
They're
think
above
They're
500.
They're just
Yeah.
above 500. Maybe.
I'd say I would bet because the Big Ten isn't a soft
Yeah.
conference either. I bet if they do well in the Big Ten tournament,
Yeah, they get in.
they Might get in, and you're probably gonna have to play some top tier teams to win some games.
Love
so.
Tom Izzo, man. I think he's a great coach. I like him. All right, that's gonna do it for this episode. Shout out to Coleman Dental 317-255-8546. Printfinity, Indie CD and Vinyl, bringingdowntheband.com. All of our partners, we appreciate you all. Patrons as well. Make sure y'all subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube page as well. We upload a lot of albums, dope stuff going on there, and we appreciate the support. We will see y'all next week.
He's got AIDS.
Peace.
I want to talk to you and your man as a face.